Before we get to the demo, let's look at how we set the default domain for the tenant and how we can make individual and bulk changes to users regarding that domain. In order to set the default domain, we go back to where we added the domain in the first place, to Office 365 Admin Center, Settings, Domain. When we select a domain, we can make it the default by clicking the Set as Default button. This will not affect any existing users, but it will become the default domain for any new users added. In order to create aliases or change the logins for existing users in the tenant, we'll need to perform individual or bulk user updates. We have the option of going into each user and creating an alias with the newly added custom domain. Each alias is automatically assigned a valid SMTP address, meaning that if the domain's MX records are pointing to Office 365, that user can receive mail with the alias address. A user can have multiple aliases all active at the same time. It doesn't need to be the primary address for it to accept mail. Setting the primary, however, will affect the username that's used to log into the Office 365 portal, as well as the name we will use later on when we set up identity synchronization or our federation with our on-premise environment. We also have the option of setting the primary domain for multiple users in bulk. Unlike with individual users, the aliases don't have to be set up in advance to be set as primary. If we select multiple users and make them all use the new domain as the primary domain, it will automatically add the necessary aliases as well. There's no way in the GUI to add just alias addresses to multiple users without also setting it as the primary domain. This is only possible via PowerShell. I guess you could change the primary domain for multiple users to the new domain, which would create the aliases, and then change it back to the old domain. That would probably work too. If you happen to change your currently logged in account, either individually or in a bulk update, you will immediately need to log out and log back in with the new username. This is because you've just invalidated the user account login ID that you're using. When you add new users, you'll have the option of picking from any of the valid domains, which include the original .onmicrosoft.com, as well as any custom domains that have been verified. It should default, however, to the domain that you set as default in the Domain Settings section. Okay, let's go in and add our custom domain.